Hello friends, I am so excited you're with me today. We are doing a really fun experiment to see how far light travels in the ocean. It's kind of a mini ocean experiment. We're pretending this is our mini ocean. But before we do this experiment, a couple things you need to do. First, it's really important you watch the video that I posted earlier about the layers of the ocean, okay? Because that's going to give you a lot of really good information about the different layers and zones in the ocean. I also want you to make sure you guys have your coloring page, which has the different zones in the ocean and all the different animals that live in those zones. If you did not get the kit though, I will post a link to this so you can print this at home and you can see all the different zones in the ocean and which animals live there. So today for our experiment though, we are answering the question, how far does light travel in the ocean? Okay, so we said that, and we're going to go over what you should have for this experiment. Because the first thing you do whenever you do an experiment is first you have your question, which we have. You gather your supplies, okay? So our supplies for this experiment are, again, our container, which is going to be our mini ocean. We need some mineral or baby oil. I like this because it's clear, you can see through it. You can use regular cooking oil, the yellow cooking oil, that's fine. It's just, I kind of like this one because you can see through it a little better. You're going to need some corn syrup. Now, let me warn you about corn syrup. It's super sticky, okay? So make sure when you're doing this experiment, you've got something to cover your table with because it kind of makes a mess. I'm lucky I have an art table, so I don't really care what happens to this, but if you want to put some newspaper down or a tablecloth, that would be great. A couple other things you're going to need is you're going to need the cups that I gave you in your kit. And again, if you didn't get the kit, you just want to get some cups. And if you didn't get the kit, you might want to get a quarter measuring cup because that's about what this line is right here. So you're going to need some cups. You're going to need some blue food coloring. This is really important. You're going to need some water because what's the ocean? It's water, right? Okay, and the other thing you're going to need a spoon because we're going to do some mixing. And you're going to need a light source like a flashlight or maybe the light on your phone might work, but you're definitely going to need a light source, okay? Because we're going to pretend this is our sunlight. All right, so everybody watch the video. And so you kind of have an idea how far down the light goes, but we're going to do this experiment so you can kind of get a feeling how far down the light will travel. The other thing I have for our experiment is I have my little fish friend here. And when we put him in our little container, if you can see that, we're going to see how far down we can see him with the flashlight. Okay, so we have all our materials, we have our question. Now, procedure. That's what do we do? So our procedure is going to be that we're going to take our cup with the line first, okay? And you're going to need your corn syrup. All right, everybody ready? So we've got our cup with our line, and this is about a quarter of a cup. Again, if you don't have these cups at home, you can just use a measuring cup. And we're going to fill our cup to the line with our corn syrup, okay? Again, it's sticky, so let's fill it up. You can go just below that line, I would say. It's fine. This does not have to be exact. This is not baking. This is, just science. We're kind of experimenting here, so it doesn't have to be exact. But after you put that in your cup, you're going to want to add a lot of food coloring. I'm going to say about 15 to 20 drops. If you want to count them, then you'll know that it's going to be dark enough, because what we're going to do is we're going to mix the blue in our corn syrup and we're going to make it a really dark blue. So help me count. Are you ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, oops, one stuck in there, 13, 14, 15. Oh, I think no one's stuck in there. So we got about 15 or 16 in there. So I didn't mix it up yet. See how it's just sitting on the top? We want to mix it up so this whole thing is blue. All right, again, if you touch this, like I said, it's sticky. Not only is it sticky now, but it's sticky and it's blue. And if you get this on your fingers, well, it might stain your fingers blue for a little while, but it's okay. It won't hurt you or anything. So we want to see how dark we got that. So take a look. It's pretty dark, isn't it? I think I might add a few more drops just to make it even a little darker. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. All right, stir it up really good. That's pretty dark. You guys see that? How dark that is. I can't really see you through it. It's not clear anymore, is it? Okay. You're going to take your container and we're going to pour it in here. This can get a little messy, but you can do it. I know you can. I'm going to take my spoon, as much as I don't care about my table. I still would like to not have to clean up my table later, so I'm just going to put that on a big plate. All right, are you ready? We're going to pour our corn syrup, our blue corn syrup, into our container. So here we go. There we go. Ooh, that is thick. Okay. So we don't need this anymore. We're going to set this aside. And there we've got our corn syrup in our container. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take our other cup that we got. And we're going to put about 2 of these of water in our container. Again, you don't have to measure exact. So I'm going to take it here. You don't need to put any color in this, and you're going to see why in a minute. Watch what happens. So we're going to put 1. I'm going to tilt this so it doesn't go down too fast, but 1. Okay, let's do the second one. You want to fill it up, not all the way. Just about there is good. Let's see. If that's too much, you might stop. Let's see. Remember, we're kind of experimenting with this to see how much we want. Right, stop there. Okay. So, remember, I didn't put any food coloring in the water, but what happened to the water anyway? What do you think happened? You let me know in the comments below why you think my water turned blue. Okay, the last thing we're going to put in our mini ocean here is our baby oil or a mineral oil. Now, you do not need to measure this because what we're going to do, this is a new bottle, so probably it's open. We are just going to fill it up to about here. Okay, so if you squeeze it really hard, it'll start to mix up, and that's okay. But you might want to get a grown-up to help you tilt this, and I'm just going to squeeze it in. And we're just going to keep going until we get almost at the top, but not quite. It actually looks really cool because the bubbles are forming on the top. But let's see what happens. I have a question for you. Do you think the oil will turn blue like the water did? Okay, so that's the question I want to ask you. I want you to think about that. I want you to make a prediction, a guess, a hypothesis. Let's see. Yeah, that's about good. So, did you say yes? The oil's going to turn blue? Did you say no? Let's take a look and see. So, did my oil turn blue also? It did not, did it? So, I don't know if you can see that, but we've got the oil on the top, which is clear, the water in the middle, which is like a light blue, and on the very bottom is that corn syrup, which is dark blue. Okay, so now I want to put the piece of paper behind it so you can kind of see the layers a little better. And I'm going to put my flashlight down, and you can kind of see. Here, let's do it this way. Ready? This way you can see the different layers without something behind it. So I'm going to put the flashlight down, and you can kind of see how far down does the light go. All right, so the top layer gets the most light, and that's called the sunlit zone, right? That's where we've got lots of creatures living in that zone. There's lots of plants, so they've got lots of stuff to eat. The next zone is called the twilight zone, and there's not as many creatures there. It doesn't get quite as much light, but there are still animals that live in that zone. The next layer is the dark zone. Now take a look at my flashlight. Is the dark zone getting any light at all? Doesn't look like it, does it? So creatures that live in that zone, they have to be pretty special because they have to live in complete darkness, and there's a lot of pressure on them. I'm going to post a really cool video about the creatures in the dark zone. Really neat stuff. I would think maybe creatures that might have glowing things might live there, or just different types of animals that are really unusual. And then there's actually a layer below that called the abyss, and that's even deeper than the dark zone. So it's kind of cool if you can see the different light. I put my little creature friend in there and kind of fell to the dark zone, and I think I only see a little bit of him sticking out because it looks like part of him is in the dark zone there. I hope you had fun doing that experiment. Now I'm going to show you one more thing that's kind of fun with this little mini ocean that we have. When you put the lid on it, okay, put it on really tight. You can get a grommet maybe to put glue on this so it doesn't come off. But what do you think will happen if we shake this up? We're going to see. We're going to go ahead and give it a shake. Do this slowly. I like doing that because it looks like waves in the ocean. All right, you ready? Now I'm going to shake it harder. Let's see what happens. Okay. What happened? The whole thing turned blue. But if you watch it carefully, watch what happens. It's starting to separate. The bottom is staying dark. The middle is going back to the lighter blue. And what do you think is going to happen on the top? I think it might become clear again. Can you see it starting to become clear again right here? Which is kind of fun. It's kind of fun to watch the different bubbles and stuff that are going on in there. All right, so that was our little mini ocean experiment. I hope you had fun with that. The cool thing is this is also now a wave bottle, so once it separates, you can kind of do that wave thing again, which is really neat. Or you can shake it really hard, which is fun. But I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope that helped you to kind of see the different layers in the ocean. Please post your pictures of your experiment. Let me know if things went a little different for you, and that's okay, because not all the experiments are going to come out the same. What your favorite part of that was, and take a look at all the different animals and tell me what your favorite animal in the ocean is. So that is our experiment for today. I hope you enjoyed that, and I will see you guys tomorrow for our next experiment. Bye everyone.